What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? It's Big Game James here on Silver and Blue Nation. About to talk about some Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones joined at the hip. What's good? I see my haters up in here already. Eastside Herald, nobody scared of you. I told you I'm going to get you on the show. I'm going to Skype you in. I don't even got to see your face. I can just hear your voice, and me and you can go at it. It ain't no thing. It ain't no thing to do it. So we'll be talking after this. So make sure I'll holler at you and we'll get together and do that because I ain't worried about no damn Texans. You feel me? But what up to my peoples, though? Thurston Howell the Third, Jorge Favela, what's up? Quay Q Childs, what's good with you? Sky High 22, Fun Times, Garrett Muggs Maxwell. Come on in here, bring your mother, your sister, your daughter, your cousin, all them. Tell them to get the hell on in here. What's good, James Nooks? Shane Akar, Edward Swaney. Keep on coming on here. I need my regulars up in here. I need all y'all get out here and share. Tell all your peoples get up in here because we're going to talk some heart-to-heart talk. You know what I'm saying? See, when I do my podcast, some other shows, like when I bang this show tomorrow with Law Nation, when I bang this show with my dog Skywalker still because he's my young and up-and-comer. And make sure you, before I say anything else, make sure you check out the podcast tomorrow we got banging. We got the podcast banging tomorrow. Me and Skywalker still on our Stargaze podcast will be banging tomorrow talking about the Patriots game some more. We'll get to the intimacy because he likes to get on all that breakdown, them numbers type things. We're going to do that as well. But we got a special guest on there tomorrow, Bobby Belt. I don't know if you heard about him, but I follow him on Twitter. He's very close with the Cowboys. He does a podcast with Jane Slater, if y'all know about her. It's called the Boys and Girls Podcast. They're on actually The Herd. The Herd picked them up, and they've been doing that podcast for I think about a month now, about 3 episodes. I had Bobby Bell earlier on the year. We chopped it up and talked about a few things. I hit him up and asked would he be down to jump on the podcast, and he is. So please make sure you check out that podcast tomorrow with Skywalker Steele, myself. That's the Stargaze podcast. You can find it on Anchor, Apple, and Spotify. So please check that out. It's going to be banging tomorrow. And also check out me and Law Nation. We'll be getting it in tomorrow on his and my station. And we'll have some more stuff coming up soon. So without further ado, like I said, I gave my shout outs. Keep on coming up in here, man. So I know everybody's talking about Jason Garrett, and I'm gonna talk deeply about Jason Garrett, and I'm gonna talk about why Jerry Jones loves Jason Garrett so much. Because I had to devil in, and I had to dig deep, y'all. I had to dig deep. And when everybody's like, fire Garrett, get rid of him, blah, blah, blah. You know, when I watched this game against the New England Patriots, yeah, we can sit there and say Garrett, but that's the easy thing to always do. And I ain't trying to tell y'all I'm on some pro Garrett, okay, because I ain't never been on Garrett. The only time I ever thought that there would be anything good with Garrett was after the 2014 season. That's the only thing I said, well, maybe. But I was never on the train for no Garrett. I just never believed it. You know, I thought he'd be a good coordinator, which I thought he was a pretty good coordinator, had good offenses. I just didn't think he'd be that guy that win championships, Super Bowls. I just didn't feel that. I'm sorry. I never felt that about him ever. I just always felt you'd be a banging coordinator. Head coach, you'd be a good coach, but I don't see you winning Super Bowls. But I knew Jerry had something up his sleeve with him. But let's talk about the Patriots game right quick. Yeah, and first of all, let's talk about the news. If you haven't heard about the news already, the NFL so graciously lets everybody know in the world, oh, you know what? Those 2 tripping calls that really affected the game, especially the one with Travis Frederick when you got the first down driving and you could have beat the Patriots in New England still after you played crappy that game, after your special team sucked, after you just made not crazy mistakes because the defense didn't play bad. We made mistakes early. We gave up 10 points early. We understand that on the block punt. On the interception by Dak, gave up 3 points and a touchdown, right, before for the first time. So 10 points that really did us in, so we can say that. But that damn penalty with Travis Frederick, and you know it. I mean, There is no way in hell that ref looked at that and said that was tripping. He was right behind him and saw it. You seen the replay from the backside. That ref looked at it and threw it immediately like he was ready to throw it. Like, I'm not even trying to read his brain, but it was almost like he was ready to throw that flag. Like, as soon as he seen that leg, penalty, big part of the game. This is what they going to do to try to get the advantage. Yeah, somebody been talking to you. Somebody been in your head, but we'll leave that alone. You get what I'm saying? Hey, donation. Hey, let's get some donations popping today. It's been crazy the last 2 days. I need them donations to keep to grow the donation. You feel me? So if you so graciously like to give a good donation, $1, $2, holla, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 holla. It grows the nation. It gets this bigger. It gets this platform better. And I'm trying to tell you, this money will not go to waste. I'm trying to tell you, this money will make this thing banging even more, because I'm going to take this ship to the highest plateau. But anyway, that's my little singing for today. But anyway, so we saw the NFL so graciously said, oh, guess what, Dallas Cowboys? We know we messed up your last drive, and you could have went to the promised land and could have won the game and beat the New England Patriots because they weren't all that crazy impressive. Okay, yes, they exploited our special teams game, and it's offense, defense, special teams. It's 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams. So you always got to be cognizant every game. Like, special teams, you don't ever talk about it, but when it is talked about, it's like crazy talked about. And we understand right now, Keith O'Quinn is not doing the greatest. He's like dead last damn near in every category, special teams wise. I don't know what to say. You know, we heard the Cowboys are not going to fire him. I mean, whatever. I mean, clean it up and figure it out. That's my thought. Clean it up and figure it out. But Bill Belichick, guess what? They got a really good offense. They got a really good defense. But guess what? Their special teams suck. So, you know what we're going to do this week? We're going to exploit the special teams, and we're going to practice on special teams, and we're going to really, really test them on the special teams tip to see if they really are on that. And that's where people yell at Garrett. Now, I feel like Garrett probably gives his coaches say, hey, free reign. You know what the job is. You need to get it done. So in that aspect, Keith Quinn, you need to get it together because you're a grown-ass man, and you know you got to get these special teams together, especially when you're being ridiculed. That's the main thing you got to do, especially when you're going playing against a Bill Belichick who's especially probably going to try to exploit you. So that's why people yell at you, Garrett, because of things like this. Because you know you coming into this game and the weather is crazy. You know something's going to try to be exploited from this dude. So you got to be prepared for everything. And that's why people get frustrated with Garrett. You feel me? I'm going to see what y'all got to say right quick, and then I'm going to talk about some more damn things. So, now, you've seen this Patriots game. Dallas Cowboys are 6-5, but I wanted to delve deep into why Jerry Jones loves Jason Garrett so much. You know, that's what I'm going to talk about. We can talk about Jason Garrett's record because it's not a bad record. He only has one losing season in his tenure with the Cowboys. Only one losing season, and that was 2015. And we saw how that went when Romo went down, Dez Bryant went down later. We saw how that season went. But all the other seasons been winning or what you call mediocre, 8-8. But I'll sit there and looked at the tradition of the Cowboys and looked through the coaching, and this dude, Jerry Jones, dog, I'm just looking at his pattern. Okay? I'm looking at his pattern right here of what the Cowboys do and how he brings these coaches in. First, we all know about Jimmy Johnson, okay? And I'm not going to bore y'all heads, but I want y'all to really listen to this, though. We get Jimmy Johnson, right? He has a 5-year tenure with the Cowboys. In 5 years, dog, we saw 2 Super Bowls, playoffs. We saw we saw what happened, and to this day, I'll never ever forget it in my life. When I seen Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson sit there, I'll never forget that I sat there and looked at the press conference. I'm like, why are them two sitting there? We just won 2 Super Bowls. Why are these two sitting there? And when I'm sitting there seeing Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson parting ways, Dog, I cried. I literally cried for 2 hours. Like, I literally cried for 2 hours. For real. Like, that hurt my soul when I seen that, because I felt like, you know what, that's going to be the beginning of the end of us. I just felt in my heart that was going to be the beginning of the end. Like, we had something so good and so beautiful. Don't touch it. I know both of y'all might have your differences, but this is something that you have beautiful. You have to make it work. You have to get over your differences, and people have got over their differences. The Bulls, Jordan and them didn't like management, but daggone it, they got 6 championships out of it. Everybody don't got to like each other, but if you're trying to get a common goal and win championships, you got to lay them Eagles to the side, and I think both of y'all Eagles was too big, and that's what just blew everything. So you see Jimmy Johnson has 5-year tenure, right? Gone. Barry Switzer, I think, was an absolute joke bringing in. But you know what? Jerry brings him in. I think that was just to try to spite him. Like, yeah, I can bring anybody in. I can bring somebody who was around you and who was successful like you in the coaching realm, and I can bring him from college, and I can win a Super Bowl too. And guess what? He won the Super Bowl. And so, Jerry Jones is feeling real cocky right now. Because guess what? I just brought in Barry Switzer, and we know Barry Switzer was a bum. Okay? Barry Switzer was not an NFL head coach. Okay? We know he was not an NFL head coach. And the only reason why they got a Super Bowl was because we were so damn talented and free agency hadn't hit the Cowboys, and that's why we lucked up and got that Super Bowl. We went to the championship game in the Super Bowl because of the players. You seen Troy Aikman say there was no discipline, and he said that's when you saw Michael Irvin get in trouble with the cocaine. You seen the problems. You seen the discipline problems, right? But here's the funny thing. He had winning seasons with the Cowboys, but it's when he kind of went down the tube, lost 6 straight, and it's like when Jerry starts hearing about no discipline, things running wild, teams giving up on the coaches. If you watch him, he don't like that, and that's when he'll get rid of you, and that's what happened with Switzer. So then comes Chan Gailey. Chan Gailey was on there a couple years, but even them couple years, he had winning records. Then he's gone. Then you got Dave Campo, 3 years of 5-11. I just think Dave Campo was there because, he was loyal to the team. I think you brought Chan Gailey in because you wanted to have an offensive mind. You were trying to go with the signs of the times. Everybody was offensive this, offensive that. So you wanted to have the offensive gym, so you went with Chan Gailey. But it was failing in the playoffs. He was failing in the playoffs. Here, that's the key. Listen to that. He was failing in the playoffs. Then you get Dave Campo, who don't even make the playoffs, but you give him 3 years, the team fall hard. He had an influx of just bad players. Didn't really have no quarterback, going through quarterbacks left and right. Quincy Carter, all them guys. I mean, you didn't have anybody back there, Dave Campo. So what could you really do? So the only 3 coaches that I love that the Cowboys ever brought in right now, ever in the history, to me, are Jimmy Johnson, Tom Landry, and Bill Parcells. And the only reason why I love Bill Parcells because I don't think he was the Bill Parcells of old where he was just dominating, but he was still Bill Parcells because I wanted discipline, because I feel like that's the type of coach that has to be with Dallas for Dallas to be successful. If Dallas is to be a successful team and to win year in and year out and to compete for championships, they have a tough, disciplined coach that don't take no trash and don't take no trash from them and will do whatever. But the problem is Jerry lords over them, and the players see Jerry, and then they see the coach, and if they see you ain't really tough like that, then they're going to look at Jerry, and they're not going to look at you. And so then they're going to like you. Like I think they like Garrett. They're going to play hard for you like I think they do for Garrett. But I ain't really scared of you, dog. That's my kind of opinion on that. But anyway, you saw what happened with Parcells comes in, gets the team back together, gets drafts back together. But he said, let me do this. Let me do this. But Jerry, what do he want to do? He wants to medal. That's what he wants to do. He wants to medal. Bill Parcells said, let me do this. I got this. What Jerry do? You know what? No, we can add T.O. We can add T.O. I said, don't bring him in. I got this. No, I got you. You dealt with crazy personalities before. You dealt with Lawrence Taylor. You can deal with T.O. And when he said no, I knew that was done with Bill Parcells. He said don't do it. And then when he did it, that was the last year it was done. Okay? So Bill Parcells gets us to a couple playoffs, misses one, but still had winning records, had one losing season, but still had winning records. So then here comes the thing right here. Now listen to this real quick. After this Parcells thing, when they got Wade Phillips, okay? Now, first of all, here's where I see where this is Jerry Jones. When I say the title of Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett joined at the hip because, first of all, his dad, John Garrett, played with the Cowboys in '88 for 1 year. God rest John Garrett's soul, because that was his dad. He did pass away, and I'm sorry to hear that. But that means he was in the organization in '88. Jason Garrett played with the Cowboys from '93 to '99. Okay? So Jerry Jones always had an affinity for him. Always had an affinity. Always looking like you came from Princeton, you're smart, I like you. I think you can be the next great guy. So I'm gonna always keep my mind on you. And if you retire and you be a coach, you're gonna be my guy. That's what Jerry was probably thinking a long time ago. That was what he was thinking. So then you get Wade Phillips comes in here, and Wade Phillips had 13-3, 9-7, 11-5, 2 playoff seasons. But guess what? He had some bad losses. And guess what? We had 2007 where we should have went to the Super Bowl that year, and you had the damn Giants going. So, but guess what? Who was the coordinator? But even before that, when Jason Garrett retired, right? When he retired, he became Miami Dolphins QB coach. He was only there for 1 year. After he retired, he became a QB coach for Miami Dolphins for 1 year. And then right after that, what happened? Good old Jerry, who kept his eye on him because he said, "You gonna be my guy. You gonna be my guy. I'm gonna raise you up, and you gonna be my guy. You gonna be my hand-picked one. You gonna be the one that I'm gonna bring back to the Cowboys, back to dominance. So I'm gonna mold you, and that's what's gonna be." And that's what happened, folks. Look, that's what happened. 2004, he's with the Dolphins. 1 year. And then right after that year, what happens? You the coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, you know damn well, after he became the coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys in 2007, Wade Phillips, your job was done. He was taking your job because he was going to be their head coach, and he was paying big money for Jason Garrett. So after 2007 and 2008 to 2008 and 2010, you are the assistant head coach. So the whole time Jerry's just plotting. And you probably already know this story, but when you wonder why Jason Garrett ain't getting fired, if you wonder why Jason Garrett ain't gone, because he's the longest tenured coach outside of Tom Landry. Not even Jimmy Johnson can get as far as this man did. But you know why? Because Jerry Jones has handpicked this dude and said, "This is my guy." So that's why you see him here as long as he is, because Jerry Jones don't want to see this thing fail. Same way he keeps Randy Gregory on the roster. Yeah, I think he loves Randy Gregory. I do. I think Jerry Jones cares about his players. But you know what? I also think that Randy Gregory is an all-world talent. And I also believe that Jerry Jones is like, you know what? What if I cut you and you happen to go somewhere and you blow up? Then I'm going to be kicking myself. So you know what? I'm just going to hold on to you. And I believe that's what he's doing with Jason Garrett. I think he thinks in his brain that I just feel like you can do it because I seen it. I seen 2014 win an NFC East championship. I seen 2016 you win another one. I seen 2018. I seen it. So as long as I seen it, I can believe it, and that's why he's still here. Now, I'm not jumping up here advocating, let's just fire Garrett tomorrow, because it ain't going to happen. I don't know why they got these publications out here like he's going to get rid of some Jason Garrett. No, he ain't. He ain't firing them in the middle of the season. They don't like doing that anyway, and that was a rarity. And the only reason why Wade got the can, because he had Jason Garrett in waiting. Like, for real. Like, let's keep it all the way funky. That's why Wade Phillips, that's all Jerry needed. And I'm not saying he was plotting, but that's all Jerry needed was to see the team going in the tank. And they're not playing hard. Jason Garrett, all right, you already know you're going to be my guy. And guess what? Look at it. Wade Phillips, winning seasons. Shane Gailey, winning seasons. Barry Switzer had winning seasons. I mean, Jimmy Johnson had winning seasons. Only one that had winning seasons was Dave Campo. When Jason Garrett started out his tenure, those guys, when they started out their tenures with the Dallas Cowboys, had winning seasons. When Jason Garrett started his tenure with the Cowboys, he didn't have winning seasons. He had 8-8 seasons. And he had seasons where I had somebody talking back to me on Twitter. I don't know if they're listening, but if they are, shout-outs to you, But we had seasons, I believe 2011. Let me see if I pull this up. 7-4. And what were people saying? The November swoon. These were games where we had these games in the pocket. But what happened? We gave them up. We didn't win those games. I'm looking at it right now. 2011. We were 7-4, week 12 with Jason Garrett. 7-5, 7-6, 8-6, 8-7, 8-8. Missed the playoffs, and that was to get in. We know what happened in 2011. Giants won the Super Bowl. 2012, 5-6. This week 12, 6-6, 7-6, 8-6. In the driver's seat. Can go to the playoffs right here. 8-6, 8-7, 8-8. Missed playoffs. 2013, 6-5, 7-5, 7-6, 7-7, 8-7. We saw when Romo got hurt. Kyle Morton threw the bad pass. 8-8 missed playoffs. And then 2014. He has the miraculous season. Romo comes out playing balling. You see how we balled out in 2014. And guess what? One winning season in 4 got him a 5-year deal. So that tells you right there he was wanting this man to succeed no matter what, because no other guys. Dave Campo had 3 losing seasons and he didn't have that. Okay, I'm gonna give you another chance. Chan Gailey had winning seasons, but he got fired. Wade Phillips had winning seasons, but he had some really bad losses. We can all admit that, and we know his tenure wasn't great, but he had winning seasons. He got fired. Jason Garrett started out with not winning seasons. He didn't get fired. He had 1 winning season, got a 5-year deal. So that tells you right there, Jerry wants this man to succeed. And all he wants to see, if he wins a little bit, that's going to give him credence to keep him. So when we look at this season, and everybody's talking about fire Garrett and, let's look for different coaches. Let me tell you something right here. If Jason Garrett, just like he saved himself in 2018, and here's the thing. You haven't really seen under Garrett, you haven't seen 5, 6, 7 game losing streaks of just the team giving up on him. And Jerry looks at that. Jerry watches to see if the team gives up on the coach. And if the team ain't giving up on the coach and they're still fighting and playing hard, then that's going to give him reason to keep you. Don't tell me it ain't. He watches it. And they haven't really done that under Garrett. And Garrett is not some unlikable guy. Like, you don't hate Garrett. I don't hate Garrett. I think I was asking myself, if Garrett was my boss, Jason Garrett was my boss, if I was walking into work every day and Jason Garrett was my boss, I wonder how would I be towards him. Just by looking on the outside in, I probably would give him his respect. He seemed like he'd be on his job. Like when I look at him with the Cowboys, I don't think he doesn't have a good he's not meticulous in what he tries to do. He looks like that guy. I look at him, if he was my boss, he'd be that guy that he's always on his meticulous. And, how come you don't have this inventory here? I counted 20 and you got 19. I think he'd be that dude. So I think he's the same way as far as football. But I just feel like he overthinks things, is too robotic with it. And in the flow of the game, that's where he kind of loses his sight in things. But it ain't all his fault, especially when you got players who not doing the plays. But the problem is, it's a reoccurring theme with him. And if things aren't perfect, he's an 8-8, 9-7 guy. And I think, to me, what my whole problem with this is, I'm not jumping up here and saying, let's just fire Garrett, But come on, man. He's been given this gift more than any coach just for Jerry to prove himself right. Jerry is keeping him, and he's like family. And you know how Jerry is with family. Jerry loves his people. His father was in the Cowboys. He was with the Cowboys. I mean, he's been with the Cowboys. Man, half his like professional career. And Jerry wants this man to succeed. And if Dallas bounces back, because this season ain't over, if Dallas bounces back, man, I want to see him say, okay, you're fired. Because I want to see him actually do that. Because I have a hard time believing that if Dallas does anything decent in this season and still gets to maybe a championship game, that Jerry's just going to say, I'm firing Jason Garrett. I just have a hard time believing that. But to me, it's fool's gold. And I don't mind eating the crow. I told people, I'm not trying to hate on him, but if Jason Garrett takes the Cowboys to the Super Bowl, I will eat crow all day. Say, damn, man, I still will be flabbergasted. I will be shocked. And I'm sorry, I don't want to believe that, but I would be shocked if he took us to the promised land. And Lord, forgive me, I'm not trying to bash him. It's just what I felt from the beginning, okay? I didn't think this in 2015 or 2016. I thought this from when he was the coordinator. I said, let him stay the coordinator. But I knew Jerry had a love for him and affinity for him. And when Jerry has an affinity for him and he wants to prove himself right, and Jerry wants to, and we should know this about the Cowboys by now, that they don't like being wrong. Okay? They will ride it out all the way to the very end until they are saying, okay, you know what, we were wrong. And you really think they're going to do that with Jason Garrett? If they invested all this time, Jerry invested all this time in his heart to getting Jason Garrett to being the man, you think he's just going to end it like that? No, he's not. So everybody's calling for his head. If Jason Garrett balls out, it's going to be. And it's funny because I'm sounding like I'm hating on him, like I don't want to win. I do want to win. But my problem is I want to win, but I feel like it hurts sometimes in my head because when we win, it's more credence for Jerry to say, see, he okay. Here's another deal. And thus we have the spinning wheel just going in circles. You get what I'm saying? I can't believe it because I look at Pete Carroll, and he got Russell Wilson. And what are they doing? I mean, they're still balling out right now, and they got a Super Bowl victory, and they've been to 2. I seen Ron Rivera take Cam Newton. And I never thought Cam Newton was a great passer of the ball. I just thought he was super big and athletic, and, he just had that arm. I never thought Cam Newton was a guy I was scared of in the passing game. I just knew he had that added dimension because he was so damn big. But what happened? Ron Rivera got him to a Super Bowl. Now you see John Harbaugh. What's he doing? He takes Joe Flacco. And I like John Harbaugh. I ain't going to lie. I like him as a coach. If there was anybody I could have that's a name guy that I could have as a coach, if I had any name guy as a coach, this is me. I don't care about what you're saying like I do, but I don't. But you get what I'm saying? No disrespect. No disrespect. But me, if I had any coach I could pick, it would be John Harbaugh. I like him. I like his style. I like the way he does. And I like how you had Joe Flacco. You win a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. You feel me? Joe Flacco. You won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. Yeah, they had that D, but Joe was balling out that playoffs. But you know what? He got like 10 playoff wins, dog. And then you go and you get rid of Flacco. You draft him Lamar Jackson, who they say, we don't know if he's a true quarterback. He this, he that. You morph his offense, and look what he's doing right now. I think he's killing the Rams right now as we speak. This is only his second year that he's an MVP candidate. You're going to tell me that's all Lamar Jackson or if that's not coaching? You get what I'm saying? Now, we got Dak Prescott, and we good with Prescott, but it's not like we're dynamic good. You feel me? Like, we're not dynamic good. Like, we had a 2016, we was like, okay. But it's like there's something missing in my heart with the team. And I just feel like it's time. And I'm not saying, hey, let's just go ahead. But I just feel like, how much longer, y'all? How much longer am I going to try to believe this? Especially if it don't happen this year. I mean, I already believe in my heart. But especially if it doesn't show this year. If it doesn't show this year, if you just get to the playoffs and I told y'all, odd years, even years. Odd years, no playoffs. Even years, playoffs. He hasn't had 2 back-to-back playoff years in his tenure, though. Okay? And all those other coaches that have at least, I think the most tenured coaches in the league right now, the least playoff wins is like, I think, Mike Tomlin with 8. That's crazy. You get what I'm saying? And Jason Garrett has 2. So what are we supposed to say? What are we supposed to say about that? Like, is this always players? Like, no, it's not always players. It's coaches too. Like I said, I see John Harbaugh take Lamar Jackson, who wasn't the most polished passer in the league, and look what he's doing with him. They're dynamic and they're back winning. And we're still struggling. You feel me? And that's what I'm talking about. That's my main thing that I am talking about. Is what am I supposed to believe, y'all? What are we supposed to believe? Like, what are we supposed to believe? Like, it's the same thing. It's the same up and down. It's consistently consistent. It's 2013, no playoffs. It's 2014, playoffs. It's 2015, no playoffs. It's 2016, playoffs. It's 2017, no playoffs. It's 2018, playoffs. I mean, where is the consistency? But it's because you want him to succeed so bad, any kind of winning anything is going to say, yeah, I told y'all. And you can say it even last year when the Cowboys were 3-5 and they bounced back. Jerry was like, I told y'all. I told y'all. That's why I believed in him. I told y'all he's a great. I told y'all. And that's him pumping his chest out. He don't want to get rid of him. And he's old. He don't want to make that change. But here's the funny thing about this though, that like in my head, like the Cowboys are really gonna fall off if they don't have Jason Garrett as their head coach any longer. Are we really thinking that now? That there's no other good coaches in the NFL, up-and-comers, assistant coaches, head coaches right now that they're out there that are not as good as Garrett, if not better. And Jerry Jones, you're scared of it? What are you scared of? I can understand, see, when you're talking about the Bengals. When you're talking about the Bengals and maybe your boy Mike Brown over there and he had Marvin Lewis winning and we saw what was happening over there, winning but choking, winning but choking, winning but choking. Then you fire and get rid of him, and now you got the coach over there that ain't winning nothing, and they terrible. But you know what? They was always kind of already being devoid of talent anyway. Any new coach that comes to Dallas, and you better take that search seriously if this does happen. I'm not saying it will, but if this does happen, you better take this time. Take your damn time and get the right guy. But it's not like a new coach is coming to anything bare. You still got a young team across the board, and you got stars. You don't have bums. You got stars. You got a pretty good defense. You got a top 10 defense. You got a top 10 offense, top 5 offense right now. So it's not like the coach will come in with nothing. But the problem is here. And I know I'm doing hypothetically. We should be getting ready to talk about Buffalo. But I'm talking about Buffalo in the podcast. I'm talking about Buffalo in the podcast in the show tomorrow. Today, I'm talking about Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones being joined at the hip. Because that's what it is. And that's why he's been here that long. They are joined at the hip. And when we see people join at the hip and they're like Siamese twins and you see them twins and them babies in them videos, you can't just cut them apart. They don't want to do it, right? They don't want to cut them apart because you know what? They might die. They might die if you cut them two people that are joined at the hip apart. They might die. So they don't want the cutting to happen. And Jerry Jones don't want that cutting to happen. And he wants this young man to succeed. And any little wins, and you know what? I heard Les yesterday. I might just be rambling, but I'm just talking my heart. I was listening to Twitter yesterday and listening to all these people on Twitter talking about, oh, Jerry Jones, he putting Jason Garrett on notice. He putting the whole staff on notice. Blah, 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 putting them on, man, know what? You know what that just reminds me of? Just a father get mad at his damn son. I got kids and I got sons. And yeah, you get mad at your son. Have you ever been mad at your kid before? Have you ever been mad at your kid? Hell yeah. But guess what? You're chastising them, okay? But you're going to say get better, right? And then what are you going to do? You're going to say it's okay if they start doing good again. You're going to be back cheering and praising them, ain't you? You're going to do that for your kid because you want them to win, right? You want them to win in life. Because you're the parent, you want your kid to win in life. Well, guess what? Jerry Jones want Jason Garrett to win in life because he wants to look good and he wants to look right. And this is a guy that he brought on, and he ain't going to just cut that cord that easy. I said a lot. Apologize. I appreciate you looking crazy. Let me give a few shout outs. I'm sorry if I just been rambling, going off, but let me give you a few shout outs. I just was talking my thoughts, y'all. Looking crazy. James Nooks, Eastside Herald, you been going up. And Mike LaSofa, you been going nuts in there. Where's my donation, Eastside Herald? Derek Clegg, what's up with you, big dog? Afro Sheen 42. I haven't seen that name before, but what's good? Yes, and he does get outcoached by rookie coaches. We've seen games where he's lost 2 rookie coaches. Don't be a rookie coach and pay Jason Garrett. It'll happen. Nene, what's good with you? Thurston Howell III, as always. Muggs Maxwell, my big dog right there. Shout out to everybody that has jumped in here. Appreciate everybody. Love all y'all. Stevie Mac 23, love all y'all. But as I said before, that's the crest of it. We can say what we want. You can talk about it what you want, but those two guys are joined at the hip. And if Jason Garrett comes out and still finishes this season right, still makes it, especially if the Cowboys, who haven't had 2 back-to-back playoff seasons and it seems like eons, if Jason Garrett can accomplish that, you really think Jerry Jones is going to fire Jason Garrett? Show me. And my thing is Jason Garrett, dog, just stop being mediocre, bro. Like, my problem is this. I don't think you a terrible coach, but I think you a average coach. I think you a 8-8 guy, a 9-win guy. I think if everything goes right, you seen what happens. You can win 12, 13 wins. If everything got to go right, can't be no injuries, no major injuries, because that ain't going to happen. Everything got to be right for you to get that. And then even then in the playoffs, I mean, when the game is on the line and when it comes down to it, I just don't feel it. And I don't want to feel that way. I want to feel, yeah, we're gonna go in there and whoop your ass. But look, come on, y'all. Let's real talk. Y'all going to work and people are talking trash to y'all. People are talking trash. The opposite fans are running their mouths to you, right? Now, don't. I mean, you can lie to me if you want to, but I need to know some truths here. When you go and walk into your job and you're repping your Cowboys gear, and they know you're a Cowboys fan, and they're talking mad trash to you, you really feel confident to say, "Oh, that's all right. We're gonna go on a 5-game win streak and make the playoffs." You really feel confident saying that to them people? I'm asking you right now. You feel confident right now jumping out there and saying, I don't, and I don't want to feel that way. I'm pissed that I can't jump out there and yell and say my coach is great. I want to yell out there and say my coach is great. I want to jump out there and say my coach will kill your coach. My coach is a dog. I felt proud when the Cowboys got Jimmy Johnson. I puffed out my chest as a Cowboy fan because I said my coach, not just my team. Not just Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Novacek and Alvin Harper and Russell Maryland and Ken Norton and Charles Haley and so on and so on. Not just them, my coach. Oh, really? Oh, you think you're going to beat us? Oh, no. See, I would have that confidence because I would say, surely you're not going to beat us. We're going to whoop your tail. You know why? Because I believe my coach is going to bring the pain against you and he's going to whoop and dominate your team. So I was puffing out my chest with Jerry Jones. I even puffed out my chest when I was a little kid with Tom Landry because he was winning. You feel me? And we had the doomsday defense. And we had dogs. And we won games. Now we got talented players, but we ain't getting over the hump. And I want to stick out my chest and say my coach is going to jump on the tracks and whoop your heads in, and we're going to come back and smash you in Buffalo. And I sit there in this Buffalo game saying, I hope we win. That's what I feel. I hope we win. I hope we bring it. Do I want to feel like that, y'all? I mean, come on, y'all. Let's keep it real. Like, nobody's trying. I'm not advocating Jason Garrett get fired in the midseason. I don't even care about that. I'm not even talking about that. What I'm saying is I want to stick my chest out from about my coach and saying we're gonna come in and whoop your butts. And I don't have that confidence, and I don't like having that confidence. I don't like that because we got too much talent, and it just like blah blah blah. And I hear Eastside Harold in here. You don't even have a great coach. You know what I'm saying? Like you playing a whack division, even though the NFC is sucky right now. But I mean, Eastside Herald, and I mean, hey, I can't really say that because you're winning, but you're only one game better than us. As much as you talking like you undefeated. You ain't undefeated. You act like you only lost one game. You jump back and play the Colts, who are so-so. They're not great by any means. When you played a good team like the Baltimore Ravens, they absolutely mashed you. Now, I will say this about Garrett. I don't see 40-7 games against Dallas. I will say that just don't really be happening with Garrett. I will give him that. So Eastside Herald, when y'all get mashed, y'all get mashed. So man, shut the hell up about them damn Texans. Anyway, that's just what I feel about Garrett, and that's just my thoughts of this show today. Is I want to jump out there and say, my coach, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But right now, I just don't have that confidence. I hate feeling that way, but it's just the truth. You know, and y'all, people want to jump out there and lie. Oh, Cowboys going to jump back. We going to win this game. Yeah, you just talking that way because you just want to believe that, because who wants to pick against your team, right? When we're asking for predictions, you want to be the guy to say, nope, Cowboys losing. But you in your heart, you be thinking, yeah, I don't think we're going to win this game. And that's what you just be feeling. I mean, if you're talking true, if you want to talk fake, go ahead and talk fake, but I'm talking true here. And there's games I'll be sitting there thinking like, damn, I don't know about this game because I don't know what we're going to do. You get what I'm saying? Because I know we got the talent to beat this team, but how we going to play? I don't know what our team is. I don't know what our team is right now. What is our identity? What is the identity of the Dallas Cowboys? I need to know because they need to, it was hot boys this, hot boys that, but that's not happening. Even though the defense played good, but we can't get the offense and the defense and the special teams all play good at one time against a good team. That's what needs to happen. You got a winning record team, 8-3 Buffalo Bills, who are ready to come in and try to embarrass you on Thanksgiving Day. And you know Cole Beasley, I don't care if he hurt or not, he's trying to shine that game. You got a quarterback who can scramble out his wazoo and can do damage. This is a game where, you know what? What we going to do? It's hard to talk trash to these haters like a Eastside Herald and the Juggernaut who's been on here, and trust me, these haters that be all in my inbox and my page, it's hard to talk trash to them when you ain't beat a 500 team. I mean, that's real talk. It's hard to talk trash. It's hard to run your mouth to them when they're running their mouth to you and you're just looking at them and you want to say something and their team ain't even that great and their team ain't going to do nothing and their team ain't going to win nothing. But we ain't beat a 500 team and you're just looking at them because you want to say nothing and you can't. So, hey, I'm frustrated about that. I'm very frustrated about that, especially these teams that we should have beat. I mean, these are games we should have won. Same old thing. Joined at the hip. We'll see. But anyway. Anyway, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Eastside Herald. Like I said, I don't trip on you, dog. It's like you said, it's just trash talk. I mean, I appreciate the haters and jumping on the live stream and showing love. Hopefully you get a live stream, and I'm definitely gonna get on yours. I'm gonna run my mouth, but like I said, Eastside Harold, me and you gonna talk. I'm gonna get you on the show, and I'll make sure all y'all jump in so me and Eastside Harold can go at it on a phone call, whatever. But I appreciate everybody jumping in. We're gonna see what happens in this Buffalo game. All I can say is, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll be honest with you. I really don't know, and I hate that I feel this way. I hate that I'm thinking like that. I hate that I have that thought that I don't know what's gonna happen with this game against Buffalo. We should beat them. I mean, they're a good team, but it's not like they ain't beatable. But what team is going to show up? You get what I'm saying? What team is going to show up? I need to know what team is going to show the hell up. There we go. Hey, ho, $5 holla. I was waiting because the show was about to end. I was about to end the show, and I was getting depressed. I said, man, come on, man. I need a donation guy out here. I need at least one donation. Get up out of here today so we can grow the nation. And my dog Muggs Maxwell came in with the Dallas Cowboys for life with the $5 holla. I appreciate you. You know what? I might go another 10 more minutes. If y'all ain't done listening to me, I might go another 10 more minutes because I want no more donation. But I appreciate you, Muggs Maxwell. And not on the serious tip, though, for real. I appreciate all the donations. We want to keep on growing Silver and Blue Nation. We're going to higher heights. I got things that I really got popping. Got a team that I'm trying to grow right now. We've been banging this podcast with my guy Young Skywalker. We've really been getting that going. Please go out there and support that. We really want to push that podcast like no other. We really want to get that podcast out there because, podcasts are kind of the thing right now. And we really want that rocking. Hey, ho, fun times, Garrett, my guy, Ron Garrett. I love you for life. You've been my boy from day one, and I love you. Hope me and my family have a happy Turkey Day, and we will. You know why? Because you donated to the nation, and we're going to keep on letting it grow. So I appreciate you for that. I love you for life, Ron. You've been one of our great supporters, along with Muggs Maxwell. Y'all been great supporters. Ron hits me up in my inbox all the time, asking questions. We type good dialogue back and forth. So I appreciate you like no other, and I love you for that. So thank you for life. But as I said, please go out there and support that podcast like no other. Please continue to support Silver and Blue Nation. I got a lot of things I'm trying to grow. I got a team that I'm putting together. I got some things I'm trying to, get together on the business tip. So please be patient. But everything that you contribute grows this nation and makes it bigger and bigger. And I'm telling you, 2020 is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And wait till you see it. And you'll be right there before your very eyes. But appreciate you out there. Rams are getting killed. Tell me what the score is right now. Anybody about finished watching this Ravens game? Have a good night. Appreciate you, Nene. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Love your life. Thank you for jumping in. What's that score right now? Somebody give me that score. Appreciate you, Q Childs. Be on that podcast. Give me a score right quick on that Rams game because, hey, and think about it. And you know what's funny? I was listening to CBS Sports at the beginning of the season. They said some predictions, and I was like, what? They said one of the predictions was the Rams were not going to make the playoffs this year. You never know. They may not because they don't look good. And guess what? Jared Goff, oh, my God, they're getting murdered like that. They're getting murdered like that? Woo! What up, Ryan Humphrey? Hey, one of my guys, Ryan Humphrey. Make sure you check him out. He updates the Silver and Blue Nation like no other. He updates the Twitter like no other. Shout outs to my guy, Ryan Humphrey. He's one of my guys. I'm growing on the team. Going to add some more few people. Get this website popping. Get some writers. Get some things going, y'all. Trust and believe. Your money is not going to go to waste. So please support this nation because I got some ideas. I got some business people that I'm really messing with. But, Rome wasn't built in a day, and you got to keep on grinding and put your product together on a daily basis. So any support that you give helps grow that and makes it quicker for me to be able to bang out this fire that I'm about to throw in y'all's face. It's going to be some flame on, like straight up. I ain't lying either. But, dang, that's bad. They getting straight up killed. But, hey, it is what it is. Rams, let me just say one thing before I get off here. Everybody was talking this bull jive about Carson Wentz and Jared Goff and dogging Dak Prescott, and I know some haters want to talk about Dak. Oh, Dak didn't do nothing in this game. Well, I think he could have had that game-winning drive if we didn't have the refs hating on us and taking away the game out of his hands because he was driving down the field, and that would have been four more downs, four set of downs on the first down. We were almost near, the 40-yard line? So who knows what can happen, and we had plenty of time on that clock to make something happen, win a touchdown. So haters going to hate. I'm going to leave that alone because you can't cry over spilled milk because me crying over it ain't going to bring that win or going to change any of the outcome of the game. So I ain't going to cry about it. But you know the hate is real. Let's just keep it all the way funky. People be out there. I'm not that conspiracy theory guy, but let's keep it real. They be hating on Dallas, and we all know it. They just do. They don't want to see us winning again. They don't want to see Jerry win again, so they'll do whatever. And people act like that don't exist and, oh, that ain't real, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it do be real. Yeah, it does. In all sports, that stuff goes on. And if you think it's don't, you're just you're in a la-la land. So, anyway, shout out to everybody. Yeah, so what? I don't care if Dak ain't got no contract. Don't worry about that, Eastside Herald. Worry about your guy over there, Deshaun Watson, and see if he can make it through the season because he be getting broke up because your offensive line is straight hot garbage, waste trash. So, anyway, shout outs to everybody. I appreciate everybody jumping in the feed. I hope I spit some stuff to you about the Jerry Jones thing. I mean, some stuff you probably already knew. But, I mean, when you see why he's not going, they joined at the hip. And Jerry ain't just going to let it go like that. And if Dallas has any kind of a winning season, it's going to be hard-pressed to see him gone. Because one last thing before I get out of here. I know I said one last thing 5 times before, but this is the last thing, I promise. If Jerry were to get another coach, let's say he does fire Jason Garrett. If Jerry was to get another coach, you know he loves some Kellen Moore. Here's the problem. Because another coach that comes in here, is he going to really be able to pick his own staff? Because as a head coach, I know I coach. I want to have my own staff. I want to pick my own people. And if that's an offensive-minded head coach that he brings in, is he going to say, oh, this is your offensive coordinator? Because that's what he did with Wade Phillips. He said, Jason Garrett is your offensive coordinator because I am promoting him. And I'm telling you, I think Kellen Moore is the guy that he wants to be the next guy to succeed Garrett. That's why he wants to keep Garrett, have Kellen Moore succeed him, and Kellen Moore become the head coach. For real. That's the truth. That's what it is. So the problem is that's another reason why he don't want to fire Garrett. Because he wants to bring up Kellen Moore the right way in his eyes. And if he fires Jason Garrett and he has to hire somebody else, he wants to keep Kellen Moore as that coordinator. Head's going to roll, but I don't think he's going to want to get rid of some Kellen Moore. So then who will be the coach? You feel me? That's when you would bring a Chris Richard. That's when his name would become prevalent because he's already with the system. Because the outside guy is going to want his own guys, but Jerry Jones controls that, and it's going to be Jerry's way. And Jerry's going to have the coordinator that he says. So that's the way I can only see Chris Richard being the head coach because he wants to keep Kellen Moore in the fold. So we'll see what happens with that. Just remember, I said some things about it, though, first. But shout out to everybody. Appreciate the donations. Love y'all for life. I got mail. It ain't nothing but bills. And anytime I get bills, I just throw them out. I just look at them and throw them out, y'all. That's what I do. I just look at the bills. I already know what it is. I got an online bank and all that stuff. I just look at them and just toss it. Whatever. I'll pay it. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all for life. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the donations. Subscribers, please like and subscribe. Silver and Blue Nation. Continue to let us make this grow. Let's grow it quickly. Let's not grow it slow. Let's not grow this thing slow. Let's grow up big and quickly and large. Only way we're going to grow it large is through you guys. Like, subscribe, get out there, tell everybody, Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James, this is what it's about. Go like this man. Go support this man. Go hard for this man because he's going to go hard for these Cowboys and beyond. Got some bigger things, college basketball, football. I also announce. I also, I did play-by-play when I went in school. I did color commentating. I do announcing. I announce high school basketball games. Currently, right now, I've been doing that, high school basketball and football. I've been doing that for about 4 years now. Get ready to start up basketball. I'm going to be announcing high school girls and boys basketball again. So I got things on the horizon that I'm planning on doing, expanding beyond the Silver and Blue Nation umbrella, expanding besides Cowboys football, going to be growing a lot of other things so I can have opportunities and open up doors for other people who are trying to make it in this industry like I was graced to as well. So, in order to grow it, I need the support. So please get out there and support this. All right. I love y'all. Thank you. And we'll be talking to you soon. Make sure you get on that podcast tomorrow, Silver and Blue Nation. Stargaze. Great guest on Stargaze. Bobby Belt. Inside head with the Cowboys. You're going to love it. Check us out. Peace.